already. It's like 12 o'clock noon, and so many deep insights into the human nature of consciousness and what we actually are. So sometimes we forget this. Most of the time, human beings forget who and what they actually are, that they're this infinite conscious awareness that is behind the scenes. It's behind this meat, bones, blood vessel that they're living in, working in, and toiling, and they forget that they're, attached to certain ideas, and they're not these ideas. People forget all the time that they are not their mind, right? We all do it. Everybody does it. Every master, every enlightened being that's ever walked this planet has always gone through this stage where they forget. There's this forgetting of who and what we actually are. And then there's this reawakening. So how does one reawaken to one's divine infinite nature, to their real self, to this free being that we truly are, and that is not bound by anything in the outer world, any person, any force, you could be thousands and thousands of dollars in debt and it doesn't affect you. There's a sense of freedom and non-attachment with all things. You could have tons and tons of pressure from your family, from your boss, from your wife or husband, from your kids, and it doesn't impact you because you know who you are. You know that you are not this vehicle, that you are something beyond. So how does one return to that state where they are the original state, the original place of truth, where truth bubbles up in us? How do we know it's true? How do we know what's false? Well, we have to come back to our center, to the very core of our being. And so the first thing that I recommend doing is just to get extremely centered in your body, mind, in this moment of what's around you, what's, hundreds of meters or yards in all directions, what's around you. Get centered in this now physical reality. That's the first step, to be in the center of your reality. Not you're just going forward, but that, you're not going back into the past or trying to figure things out. You're just in the now. You're just here in this present moment. And it's really simple, and yet sometimes it's too complex for the mind. The mind's like, this is too much. I just can't actually just fathom what it's like to be centered in the now. It's just too much. So you just relax. It's a non-efforting, because you can't escape from the now. For one, you can't escape from being in this body-mind moment. The body's always going to be in this physical state unless you're really enlightened, really, ascended on some level. Then you can, bilocate the body or do these magical things. But right now you're in this place where there's still this place of suffering, fighting with one's thoughts and fighting with maybe the body or what the body wants, desires that are coming from the body and the mind. And so, in this inner battle, there is this non-centered experience. We're not centered in this vehicle. We're not centered in the core of our essence. And so when you get just the physical sense of being centered of maybe hundreds of yards in all directions, then you just expand it. And you go to thousands of yards and miles in all directions, 360 directions, 360 degrees in all directions, all around you, until there is a sense of you are centered in the entire universe. Because the universe is infinite in every direction, right? So that means that every center, every point of the universe is the center. There's all just centers everywhere. And so you drop into your center, the centeredness of who you are. It just naturally happens when you relax, when you totally relax, and you completely, deeply, utterly, completely on every level, you let go and you just surrender to this moment, this simple, soft, sweet, precious moment of life that is going to come and go so quickly. And in this centeredness, there is this awakening, this reawakening, this continual awakening. It's never ending. It's like the light bulb just keeps getting fed more and more electricity. It's not that the light bulb is asleep. It's just that, you know, how much electricity are you letting through it? You know, until your lifetime's over, and then, yeah, boom, the light bulb is dead. And maybe you get a new light bulb, maybe not. You know, but this right now, this electricity is moving through you. This consciousness is moving through you. Your light bulb is working, and you are conscious and awake and aware and alive in this moment. So your light bulb is fine. Don't try to, you know, think anything other than it's okay the way it is, even if it's struggling, maybe health issues or emotional issues, whatever. In the bigger picture, there is always a place where you can find a sense of peace, a sense of being okay with what is, whatever you're struggling with, whatever inner challenges that you have, peace can be found. And that's just simply through acceptance, relaxation, just saying, you know, well, I'm just going to surrender to something bigger than the struggle and trust that there's something bigger than this fight with life that is going to guide me, take care of me, you know, do whatever isn't the right thing to do. And so there's a relaxation again with the trust. So it always comes back to relaxation, I found. And the more you can relax, the more enlightened you become. And the more tense you are, the more anxious, the more you miss out on this amazing divine quality of our soul, of the soul that is, you know, this infinite, eternal being that we are, that is, you know, connecting with other infinite, eternal beings around. And there's this infinite, eternal playground of life that's happening around us. And we don't have to get so attached to things of this world. We can get in touch with something more eternal. And that spiritual essence is the gateway to freedom. It's more easy to find than your nose, maybe. You know, it's right in front of you. The spiritual essence is so close to you that if you think about it, you're going to miss it. So you can't think about it. You actually have to feel into it. You have to surrender into what is. Because thinking is just, it's too far away. It's one step around it. And so it's about dropping all your ideas about it and just coming back to what you are. So, gateless gateway to freedom. The door is always open. You don't have to even walk through it. You already are it. The door is you. And, you know, get curious. That's all I can really recommend you right now, is just to be really, really curious and look how you're blocking yourself, stopping yourself, telling yourself negative things or positive things, and maybe there's some tension around that or whatever. Just see, where are you not stepping into this connection with your infiniteness, the centered infinite being that's connected to the infinity that's around you. And that's really what it boils down to, is, are you connected to the infinity, which is here, always here. And how many times a day do we forget that? That we're living in an infinite universe in all directions. So, lots to sit with here. Yeah, and just relax into it, you know? Turn off the cell phone, the computer, the TV, whatever, all the distractions, and just sit with the infinity that's around you. See what happens. You know, the mind's going to wander, of course, but hey, you know, that's the nature of the mind, until the mind realizes, wow, this is the truth. Like, the truth is more satisfying than all these smaller truths. This big truth really satisfies. You know, these smaller truths, yeah, they kind of, you know, make me suffer. So eventually it's up to us, you know, in the end, you know, how much we can let go of our smallness and surrender and open to our bigness, this infiniteness, who we are. So have fun, be well, and yeah, be gentle with yourself on this journey. It's a deep one, it's a long one, it's an intense one. Be gentle. Okay. Thank you so much for listening. Be well.